All right, my friends, you are watching KUAM News Extra right here on KUAM. Now, starting today and lasting through May 1st, Guam, along with the rest of the nation, will be celebrating Law Day and Law Week. Now, we have two distinguished gentlemen, and there are three of us on the stage. That means only two can be distinguished gentlemen, because it certainly isn't me. We have here the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Robert Torres, and Attorney Rodney Jacob. Gentlemen, always good to have you here in studio.
Half a day, Jason. Great to be here again.
And two of the hugest sports fans, I must tell you, at the college and pro level that I've ever had the pleasure of chatting with and everything. So we can definitely have you guys in here for at least an hour to talk about sports.
We can do sports anytime.
Yeah, but we are talking about another interest and a passion of yours, which is Law Week, which not only celebrates the practice that you gentlemen and your colleagues have dedicated your lives towards, but also in educating a new generation on the importance of law.
Absolutely. And, you know, we use this Law Week as an opportunity really to highlight some of our outreach programs at the Judiciary of Guam. We'll have the traditional mock trial plays, and they've grown, Jason, from 2 schools to 15 schools now that are participating in the mock trial plays. We'll be having a Juror Appreciation Week, recognizing the service that our citizens give to the judiciary to preserve the right to a jury trial that's so fundamental to our constitutional protections. And then we're going to also have this weekend the Law Fair at the Judiciary of Guam, starting at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., where we'll not only have the mock trials and an open house, but opportunities for people to observe actual court hearings, be able to pay their traffic tickets, get court clearances and traffic clearances on Saturday at the Judiciary. So if they can't go during normal working hours, we're giving them that opportunity to do it on Saturday. And then we have our race judicata under Colors of Law, which will be our color run. We had nearly over 1,500 runners last year, and we think we're going to have a pretty good turnout as well this year. Outstanding.
So Rodney, I understand that the Miranda concept is the core theme of this year's law. How does that tie in?
Well, very important. As we've been doing it as a community, this is our 9th year. And it's Law Day in the United States, but it's Law Week in Guam. Actually a little bit longer than Law Week, because we've extended some of our activities through both courts. But we take the national theme and we expand it, and we get the community to think about it. So for example, this year is Miranda. It's the 50th anniversary of the decision of the Miranda case, which is about, you know, what we know about what's on television. You have the right to remain silent.
The Miranda rights.
Yeah, the Miranda rights. Really
practically every American can at least recite like the first line or so.
Yeah, and they should be, and we're happy about that. But we're talking about really what that means as a community, as a people that are governed by laws, not by men, and what our civic traditions are and how important they are, and the branch and the profession that actually makes those rights come to life. So Miranda is this year. This is a tradition for us now. It's our 9th year. We've done things, for example, like last year we've explored the Magna Carta, which was the founding document that led to our country and our freedoms, for example, like religious freedoms and things like that. The year before, we explored what law is like in the 21st century, about how our laws and how things in our society have changed, like internet, human migration, things like that. And we bring them really close to the ground. So as the Chief Justice was indicating, the events that we have a very important strategy that each of the things that we do are centered around teaching a particular group of folks about the rule of law and their rights. So mock trials, we have a huge and extraordinary outpouring of young people that engage in what are fun mock trials, but they are about process, okay? And then we have videos that we show in the high schools and the middle schools about a case where kids can act it out and they can decide as jurors and decide what's right and what's wrong. And it's real. We've had feedback from our judges that have said that kids come in and voice their understanding of what their rights are in the law. And we think that's important because that's what we do as a community. Our rights are critical. The Miranda rights are extraordinarily important. What it stands for is that any time our freedom is inhibited by the government cannot ask us questions about any crime we've committed. And that implicates our Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, right? And the right to an attorney to protect us all the way through the process. And lawyers do it, judges enforce it, but it's about every citizen in our community to make sure that those rights are alive as much as they were back when we were founded as a country, as they are today.
Now, Your Honor, will that theme be echoed and mirrored in any way in your State of the Judiciary address coming up?
I mean, of course, we're going to recognize the Law Week activities and some of the importance of the Miranda case, Miranda versus Arizona, in the State of the Judiciary. But really, my State of the Judiciary, which will be Monday evening at 7 p.m., is to focus on some of the accomplishments of the judiciary in the past and also looking ahead. We've undergone our third strategic planning session. We now have adopted a strategic plan to guide us from 2016 to 2019, which really forms the basis for us to make conscientious decisions about strategic projects that we need to accomplish over the next 3 years at the Judiciary of Guam. And so I'll talk a little bit about that with the legislature. I'll also want to thank them for their support. They've been very supportive in the last 3 years of my administration as the Chief Justice, and it enabled us and given us the funding to be able to accomplish some of the things that we've wanted to accomplish. But of course, with funding comes great responsibility, and I think we've been accountable for the money that the legislature has given to us. We've been able to show the results that have happened. I'll also talk about the desires to get an additional judicial officer, another judge on the bench. The Guam Bar Association, working in conjunction with a committee from our court, has made a recommendation that another judge be appointed so that there not be any slowdown in the civil docket, particularly because of the precedence that criminal cases take in the docket. And you know, we have 5 different therapeutic courts operating now at the Judiciary. We have a mental health court, we have both the adult and juvenile drug courts, we have the Veterans Court, and we have a DUI court. And while the courts, the therapeutic courts have proven to be very productive and reduce recidivism, they are resource and time intensive. So it takes a little bit more time. You get the results that you want long range, but it does take time. And similarly, some of the programs that we've done with our juvenile justice reform and looking at evidence-based practices and risk assessment tools for evaluating when people should be released. And we're just going through now a pre-trial reform project. So there's a lot of exciting things going on at the Judiciary, and that will be the focus of the State of the Judiciary.
All right, well, Your Honor, and Rodney, speaking of time, we are beholden to it here, so we got to go to commercial break. But we thank you so much, and we can't wait to work with you on Law Day and Law Week.
Thank you, Jason, and we look forward to working with you in the future as well.
Come back anytime. Come back and talk about the draft. We would love to have you then.
Yeah, you know, just one really quick point is there's a lot of information on the court website, the district court website, and there's a Facebook page, Guam Law Week, which provides all of the information about our events, both in the local court and in the district court.
All right, outstanding. Yeah. So we will direct you to those links if you go on our YouTube channel right now, and we will be back after this.